Hey you guys, so today I'm going to be showing you what you can do with leftover scrap fabric from projects that you might have completed already. Be sure to check out my tutorial for what I did with this men's shirt. The first thing you want to do is you want to try to find the fleshy part of the scrap fabric, so any part that has a good chunk of fabric that hasn't been cut or slandered in any way. And then what you want to do is you want to kind of just separate that chunk of fabric from the rest of the greater fabric itself. So try to cut out as much of the fabric as you can. Right here I'm cutting out a rectangle. Okay, so once you have your fabric, it should look something like this. I'm just going to fold this in half, and then I am going to make sure both layers are nice and flat, and then I'm just going to cut along the fold, and it should look like this when you've done that. And now you have two pieces, so we'll put the other piece aside and start with this piece. We're just going to fold it in half the long way, and we're going to pin along the fold just to keep both layers of the fold intact and flat and even. So now we're just going to sew along these sides and along the top. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just marking off about a ½ inch from the edge. And another ½ inch from the top. And then a ½ inch from the other edge. And you're going to just sew here, and you're going to stop right there. Okay, and it should look like this, and we have this one opening, like so. And then you're going to sew up here, and you're going to stop right in the middle of this line, just so that we can make the opening smaller, like this. And now we're going to take the pins out. And now we want to just turn this inside out, so just kind of use your thumb as a guide to just draw up the fabric all the way up to your thumb. And then once you get to the end, then you're just going to use your index fingers and stick the bottom of that fabric up inside through that hole that you made with your two thumbs. And then you're just going to pull out that fabric out of that hole, like so, and then you've turned it inside out. I think that this is pretty self-explanatory once you see what I'm doing. But you're basically turning it inside out so that the raw edges of your seam is now inside. Now our opening is even smaller, and we're going to be putting our oats in here. You can put rice or beans or anything in here. I'm just doing oats because these are not so good for my stomach. As you can see here, I started struggling with this, and it sucked because the hole was too small. So what you should do is you should just go ahead, take your seam ripper, your seam cutter, and just open up that seam a little more so that the hole is bigger and it's easier to pour your substance into the tube. Okay, so now the hole is bigger and it's much easier to just pour my oats into here, like so. And you just want to stop until you get about like an inch from the top, and then you're just going to fold in the edges like so, and then you're going to pin it down. And then you're going to take your Wonder Tape and you're going to measure how much of it you need, and then you're just going to rip it so that you get the clear part to separate itself a little bit. You're going to take your Wonder Tape and you're going to put it inside along the top edge of that fold, that bottom fold, like so, right? And then we're just going to take it off, and we're going to fold these in, and we're just going to stick them together. And then we're just going to make sure that the oats are all at the bottom and that we have some space at the top. And then we're just going to sew along the edge. And again, make sure you hold on to the oats so that they don't come near the needle and cause damage to your needle. Alright, and it should look like this when you're done. And there you have it. We have just made a paperweight, and you can definitely make more of these with the rest of your fabric. Now you don't even have to worry about your pattern paper rolling up or your fabric rolling up. You can just use your paperweights and your life is made. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, like this video, and share it with anybody that you think would get a kick out of it. Ciao!